Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Simon, and breaking news, I have here in this box the 16 books that make up the Women's Prize for Fiction 2025, the 30th year of the Women's Prize. I'm so excited. As you'll see from the first reading the Women's Prize Longlist vlog, which I've already started filming, this arrived last night and I have been so good at waiting until the lighting was right to film, so it has stayed sealed. No one has gone in it. I haven't seen anything, and I'm both a mixture of like super duper excited and a little bit nervous. I've got a slight like anxious energy as well as excited energy, so who knows how this video could go. Let's get cracking, because I want to know what's in this box, you'll want to know what's in this box, and yeah, let's see how much this scares the cat. Right, now I'm gonna try not to see anything, so I don't know quite how I'm gonna do this. Oh goodness, I might have to do some fast forwardy bits while I do the logistics, but I'm not looking at all. I'm just gonna pick. I can feel this is a hard one. I don't want to see some paper back, because I feel like I'm going to try and get this one if I can. So the first book is, oh, A Little Trickery by Rosanna Pike, which I didn't predict, but is one that I started, I think it was, yeah, towards the end of last year. Third year Lennon loves this, and it's a quite unusual historical novel. It's set in Tudor England, but it's all about rural Tudor life, and it's about a young woman whose name I've now forgotten, Tib Ingleby, who is a vagabond. She's born a vagabond, and it's how she ends up in some unlikely situations. I'm really excited to carry on reading this, so that I'm thrilled to see. So that's good already. Oh, I nearly saw something, but I don't want to see anything else. So that's number one. Didn't predict it, no I didn't. Have I read it? I've read a bit of it. Then we have, oh, interesting, Dream Cow by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who has won the prize before. There has been some controversy around Chimamanda, which I'll probably talk about at some point in the vlogs. But yeah, this is an author who used to be one of my favourite authors, I won't lie. So I've kind of been intrigued for this, but also a bit like about it. But yeah, so Dream Count by Chimamanda, that's there. Oh no, I don't want to be able to see. I don't know, so there we go. I can't see anything now if I purposefully look away like that. Then we have, oh, interesting. So I've been talking about this recently because the lovely Torsif, who wrote a brilliant book called Determination, he interviewed, oh sorry, I haven't said what it is. It's Fundamentally by Nasiba Younis, and I believe this is about fundamentalistic, hang on a minute, let's read the blurb together first, shall we? And then we can work out what it is. And this bit will all be fast forwarded, although it says at the start, by normal, do you mean like you, a slag with a saviour complex? Yeah, so this is a book about women who have been taken in by ISIS and rehabilitating them. So I've heard though at the same time it's kind of comic. So that intrigues me, how the balance of that is going to be done. But on the cover it says compassionate, so I'm wondering if it's compassionate and comic. So yeah, intrigued for this one, very intrigued. I love that cover, I should say. Then we have, I've got a slight nervous shake going on. It's quite unlike me. Oh, The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley. I have read this, and this is all about a program where people can be rescued from history and brought to the modern day. And it's kind of a love story. It's also a look at outsiders and a look at how the world has changed and how it hasn't. And people describe this as being quite Doctor Who-y, which is what made me really want to read it. And yeah, so we have that. So that's 4, and I've read 1, so that's good. Then we have, oh, The Dream Hotel by Layla Lalami. Now, I think it was Nathan of Nathan's Nook who raved about this, but he also said it kind of left him a bit blue-balled. Now, I don't quite know what that means in terms of reading, but we shall maybe find out. Do we want to know a little bit more about it? Wow, using data from her dreams, their algorithm has determined that she's in imminent risk of harming her husband. That sounds really But as Sarah arrives to be monitored alongside other dangerous dreamers, she discovers that with every deviation from the facility's strict and ever-shifting rules, their stays can be extended, and that getting home to her family is going to cost much more than just 3 weeks of good behaviour. Intriguing. I'm intrigued for that one. Really intrigued. I've also gone slightly like, oh, there's so many books, I'm so excited, I don't know quite how to concentrate. Then we have, All Fours by Miranda July. Now I say because this is one that I thought would be honest, but because it's quite Marmite from what I've heard. Also wasn't sure if therefore a judging panel would all love it. And yeah, but it didn't make my predictions video, so yeah, I don't think I've predicted any of these so far at all.
I don't know if I just went off screen there. Anyway.
I am really, really intrigued to read this because it has had such a Marmite reaction, but I've heard that it deals with like really interesting subject matter. So there we are, Miranda July's All Fours. How many are on now?
This is all good. I keep on the screen. 1, 2, 3, no. I'm going to put them. Oh, it's a lot of passport, isn't it? Probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. We're not quite halfway yet. Oh, this feels nice. Elizabeth Strout's Tell Me Everything. I love Elizabeth Strout, and I'm a big fan of her. I haven't read Olive Kittery yet, but I know she's in this. I'm a big fan of Lucy Barton and the Lucy Barton books, and I believe this is where these two worlds come together. I've been meaning to read this for ages, so thrilled to have this one to read very soon. I really, really do love her writing. So why did I not predict her? Let's not keep going on about that. Let's just not. Anyway, next we have, I've not heard of this. Wow, not heard of this at all. This is Somewhere Else by Jenny Dyches, and this is from the Scotland Street Press, I'm assuming it's Scottish. What does it say? Rosa Roshkin is 5 years old when her family are murdered in a pogrom. I don't know what a pogrom is. And she's forced to leave behind everything she knows with only a suitcase of clothes and her father's violin. That's all it says. Miriam Margolyes loved it. So that's interesting. I've not heard of Scotland Street Press either. So I love it when a list has a book or 2 or 3 or 4, we don't know how many there'll be, that I've never heard of before. And also when it's from an indie press that either I've heard a little bit about or nothing at all. And this is that case. That's really interesting so far. Then here we have, Birding by Rose Roon. Now I'm really chuffed that this is on the list because I've had my eye on this for quite a while. Partly because of the ice cream on the cover. And it says, in a gentrifying rundown seaside resort town, 2 women pass each other on the promenade unaware of each other's existence, but their lives are set on an unlikely collision course. I won't read any more than that because you know me, I don't like to know too much about a blurb. Oh no, one of the pages is folded over. Let's all move swiftly on. Intrigued for this one, and I think, is this like a second, or is it a debut?
I thought this might be a second novel.
Yes, this is Yesterday, although that could be a short story collection. I'll do more research into that separately, but there we have the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
9th book on the long list. The 10th book, well, it's not in that order, is Roisin O'Donnell, Nesting. And after I did the predictions video, loads of you said that you wanted to see this on the list because you loved this book. And so I think I might have another copy of this on its way from the folk at Scribner. But yeah, this sounds really, really interesting. I mean, Irish fiction anyway really intrigues me. A debut novel. I don't know what it's about. It's set in Dublin. On a bright spring afternoon. I know people don't really like blurb reading, and I'm really sorry about the aesthetics of this box here. But it says, on a bright spring afternoon in Dublin, Chiara Fay makes a split-second decision that would change everything. Grabbing an armful of clothes from the washing line, Chiara straps her 2 young daughters into her car and drives away, head spinning. All she knows for certain is that home is no longer safe. Won't read any more of the blurb, but yeah, very intrigued for that one. Is that the 10th I said? So we've got the 11th. Amma by Sarade De Silva. And I feel like I saw Ben of Ben Reads Good, if you're not following, you should be, talking about this, but not in his predictions video. I feel like this was for something else a while back, or just a book that he really wanted to read. 1951, Singapore, 10-year-old Josephina kills her abuser. This event becomes the defining moment in the lives of Josephina, her daughter Sitara, and her granddaughter Annie. Or I should say, it says Amma is a startlingly beautiful novel about family trauma, post-colonial displacement and queerness. And this is from Weather Glass Books, who do the Weather Glass novellas, I want to say, is that right? And I've read one of theirs earlier this year, which was Australia by Kate Crimmink, and I loved it. So I'm really, really excited about them as a publisher. This is also a stunning cover, I should say. But anyway, the effects cascade through generations as Annie sets out across the world to discover what happened to fracture her family. Set in Sri Lanka, Singapore, New Zealand, Australia and London, Amma is a novel about family, displacement, queerness and how the past lives with us forever. Does it say that twice on the blurb? It does. Oh, yeah, really, really intrigued for that one. So we've got that, I think that's the 11th. Just checking that I'm not missing any. Next up, another hardback. We have all the Persians now. I've been wanting to read this because Sarah Winman said it was glorious and then didn't put it in my predictions, but we're not playing that game anymore, are we? And it says, a riotously funny, deeply moving and life-affirming debut novel following 5 women from 3 generations of a once illustrious Iranian family as their lives are turned upside down. I'm really excited for this one. Oh, this is another one that I want to get to very, very soon. I've got a week of quite a bit of travel coming up, so any that I have double copies of are the ones that I'm probably going to head to first. But so far, I've read one of the... Is this 12? I can't do counting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, 12. That's interesting. And how many of these have I guessed? Absolutely 0. So there we are. 13, I'm looking for some, but I'm sure won't be for this. Oh, this is The Artist by Lucy Steeds, which is a debut novel that came out earlier this year and is, I'm assuming, about an artist. It's set in Provence, 1920. Etty moves through the remote farmhouse, silently creating the conditions that make her uncle's artistic genius possible. Joseph, an aspiring journalist, has been invited to the house. He believes he'll make his name by interviewing the reclusive painter, the great Edouard Tartuffe. I've never heard of him if he's real. Is he real? I'll have to do some research around this afterwards. But everyone has their secrets, and under the cover of darkness, Etty has spent years cultivating hers. Over this sweltering summer, everyone's true colours between these covers will be revealed because Etty is ready to be seen, even if it means setting her world on fire.
Apologies, I didn't want to do any edits in this video, however, I did just sneeze horrifically.
So anyway, yes, I'm intrigued for this, a little bit nervous because it's about art. And me and art books don't always get on, but I love a secret and I love a sweltering, well, I don't actually love a sweltering summer, but I love reading about sweltering summers because people can be quite extreme in extreme weather. And yeah, intrigued for this one. Then we have all of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
14. Good Girl by Aria Abba. And this is, this is a debut that quite a few people have been talking about. It's set in Berlin's artistic underground, where techno and drugs fill warehouses still pop up from the walls of the 19th century. 19-year-old Neela finds her tribe. It's a story of love and family, raves and Kafka, staying up all night and surviving the mistakes of youth. Good Girl is the virtuosic debut novel by a major new voice in fiction. Now that's 14 books, but there are 2 more hiding, and one I have read. And that's The Safekeep, and I did predict it. So there we go. This is by Yael van der Wooden. This was up for the book last year. This is a stunning historical novel and tells of a young woman called Isabel who is living in, it's post-World War II, is living in this big old house with no one but a servant who she thinks is stealing things from the house. And she... her brother, who's going to inherit the house one day, he asks if his girlfriend can move in for a while. She doesn't want her to, however she does, and then we follow on from there. And it's twisty, it's turny. Yeah, it's a fab book, so thrilled to see that there. And then last but not least, we have Crooked Seeds by Karen Jennings, who I remember being up for the Booker with an Island. In fact, it says that on the front. And I've heard like bubbles of little buzz about this already, but I don't know what it's about at all. In a parched corner of Cape Town during an endless drought, Deirdre Van Deventer receives a call from the South African police. Her family home, recently reclaimed by the government, has become a crime scene. The remains of several small bodies have been discovered in the garden after decades underground. Detectives pepper with questions. Was your brother a member of a pro-apartheid group in the 90s? Is it true that he was building bombs as part of a terrorist plot? Wow, that sounds like it's going to be pretty powerful. So we have that. So that is the 16 books My instant reactions are that I can't predict to save my life, because yes, one prediction out of all of them, that's something. And yeah, so I've got quite a lot of reading to do because I've only read 2. I'm definitely excited by the list. There's lots here that I'm really looking forward to reading. I feel like I need to let the list settle. Let's move this ugly box. I feel like I need to let the list settle a bit. I'm going to put them in alphabetical order, but I'll whiz myself through doing it, and that way I can come back to you with a bit more thoughts as I've processed them. Although, where in the alphabet do you put this? Is it a V, a D, or a W? It's like, I don't ever know where to put Daphne du Maurier. Do I put her under D or do I put her under M? I generally put her under M, so therefore I would put Yael van der Wooden under W. But is that the right thing to do? Could you just answer me that in the comments down below?
Talk amongst yourselves, everyone.
See, I've got another one. Sarah de Silva, I'm assuming that's under S. Where have I gone? What's going on? I can't do alphabets. This is all going to fall over, so I don't actually think this was the right thing to do. I should have just done them by size. That's not really going to work to show you, is it? So I should have probably done them by size, but maybe that's a thumbnail. Right, hang on, let's try and reorder. Right. Oh. I'm not going to be able to do this. I hope this is entertaining to you all. Or possibly not. Anyway, there we go. There they are. I haven't had more chance to process it, I was just trying to get that sorted. But I will have a little bit of time thinking about it. I might actually do a video on Patreon where I talk about my thoughts as I sort of let them settle. Definitely intrigued by it. I feel like it's a really interesting mix of authors that I have heard of, authors that I haven't heard of, some that have been like on my, I guess, reading periphery at different points, like ones that I've seen other people recommend. Sorry, you can't see them all, so I feel like I'm unfairly showing some more than others. 2 that I've read, and I really love The Save Keep. I really like The Ministry of Time, so that's a good sign that maybe my tastes align quite a bit with the judges. I think the big shock with this one is going to be no Eilish Fack, no Tracy Chevalier. For me, I'm gutted, if I'm honest, about Nikki May, Ingrid Episode, Monique Rofi. I thought that was incredible. Oh, The Echoes by Evie Wilde. But I don't really like to focus too much on which books haven't made it, because I, like, as you've seen, I've literally read 2 out of all of those, so I can't really say like that this list should have anyone else on or shouldn't have any. Well, anyway, moving on from that. Yes, so here we are. That is the 16 books that make up the Women's Prize for Fiction Longlist 2025 for the 30th year. I am going to be reading these over the next 4-ish weeks.
So I need to work out what the math is with that and how anyway, you don't need to spend on that, it's really boring sort of admin that I've got to work out.
Thank you to the Women's Prize for sending me these. Like, it's such a treat. I've been following this prize for ages, and also really exciting that Mum is reading the non-fiction long list. I'll be reading the fiction long list, and then once the shortlists are out, we're going to switch. So she'll read the fiction shortlist and I'll read the non-fiction, and then we'll be reunited to do our ranking and winner predictions. We'll also do our shortlist predictions before that. Well, I can't speak on behalf of Mum with that, but I'm imagining that she will be doing that. I feel like I've got like overstimulated and I can't quite speak. So yeah, I'm really intrigued for all of these. I'm going to hold them up again one more time, but this is kind of a workout actually. Who says reading isn't good for you physically? I mean, it's very good for you mentally, but if I just do this for... No, actually I don't want to. Very exciting, very overstimulated. I will see you all in another video. If you want more savage shenanigans, and you can head to my Patreon, where I'll also be doing a bit more of an in-depth reaction and thoughts on these books, because I haven't quite got my head around them yet. And also other content there. But you can also find my Instagram, my Blue Sky, and all those things linked down below too. I will see you in another video. feel really breathless after just lifting all those books up. Whew. But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued for this list, and I'm actually quite excited because I was saying before I filmed this, as I think you'll see in the next vlog, that I was kind of hoping I hadn't read any, because that's like a really exciting like plethora of books to get to, even though it also means that some of my favourite books that were eligible haven't made it, just like I'm sure you guys will feel. But I'd rather be excited about it than stingy about it, even though, yeah, I'm a little bit sad. I also need to work at like, where are the authors from, etc, etc. So yeah, I will do that in the vlogs as we go, so that, you know, we can talk about that too. Anyway, I'm chuntering on now, waffling away. I hope you're all doing super duper well. If you want to know more about the Women's Prize for Non-Fiction Longlist, Mum is making videos over on her channel, which I'll link down below. Thanks as always for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the longlist in the comments down below. And yeah, see you soon. Bye.